thinks it would be a lot of fun to see her on Dancing with the Stars.
Hey, can I just tell you something really weird that's going on?
Go ahead.
You were reading the email, and Sal heard you say, you know, that's why we can't hang out with Richard anymore. Whatever, you said something in there like that. So Sal now has
that this person would not hang out with Richard.
I got it, but now Sal has it in his head that you've hung out with... I'm talking low because I have the radio off where Sal is. Sal's got in his head that you and Richard have hung out privately together.
Right.
That he doesn't know about?
That he doesn't know about. So he asked Richard, and Richard was vague about it. He came to me, and I was like, I can't say. It's not for me to say. And now he's walking around. He's, like, really hurt. And I'm, like, explaining. Well,
so, you know what? Go back in the room, put the radio on, and I'll start talking about how I had Richard at the Hamptons. Okay. All right? And Richard and I have been hanging out. All right, go ahead. Praise for Benji for the Dice Clay for standing up to Dice. Benji made the show today. He's one funny guy. Almost drove off the road laughing.
It didn't work.
It was unanimous. Yes.
Your film was horrible. I mean, the worst film at the film festival.
Oh, dude, come on.
Dude, I don't know what it is. I'm never going to be a director. I don't think so. I hate to break the news to you.
All right, okay.
Hey, by the way, I do want to say something. But you tried it, and I respect that.
Thanks.
Yeah, get out of here.
In baseball, we call that a swing and a miss.
So, Richard, I haven't been talking about this because I didn't want to upset Sal, but Richard Christie and I have been spending time together in the Hamptons. I've been hanging out with him. Yeah.
You didn't even tell me that.
Yeah, we got together. He's a good dude.
Yeah?
You
like hanging out with him?
Yeah, we're going to do a lot more of it. We went fishing.
Really?
Yes.
Why? You never had me out there. That sucks.
No.
So what's so great about Richard?
He's just a great guy, man, and we had a great time together. And
thank you for that, Howard. That was awesome.
And thank you for not talking to Sal about it, because I didn't want him to freak out. But
I know. I was worried about how he would react.
What did you know?
You two kept this on the QT.
With Sal screaming.
I knew it.
How'd you figure this out?
Because on Easter I invited him, and he's like, no, you guys hung out on Easter.
Yep.
I knew it.
That's when we started hanging out.
That's all right.
Oh, wow.
I don't get it.
Don't take that personally.
What don't you get about it? Why can't he be a separate person?
He can. He's a great guy. I love hanging out with him.
You wouldn't have been able to hang out with us on Easter anyway.
I knew it. I knew when you went to Scores and you said, I hung out with a guy and another, and you go, well, this guy I'm not going to bring up. I knew it was Richard.
So they've been hanging out a lot, you think?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, it makes sense. But he's in the city. Richard's in the city. When he invited him over for Thanksgiving. That was the first one.
Wow.
Then, Easter, Richard didn't want to come over. Because I brought him over to Easter last year, but you weren't that close to him yet.
That's right.
So then Richard went over there for Easter.
Well, we were actually I was supposed to go to your place on Thanksgiving.
Then today, did you hear what Howard said? He goes, one of my friends said, we can't hang out with Richard anymore.
Yeah,
so he's been hanging out with Howard and his whole crowd?
Well, did you hear it?
Yep.
No, I guess so. I didn't read into it like that, but I guess he did say, you're right, he
said we can't hang.
You are a super sleuth, you caught on.
I'm a little aggravated, too, because I live in the city. I mean, I would like to have gone.
Let me ask you something. Were you keeping your relationship with Richard a secret because of Sal?
Yep. I was, because Richard said to me when we were hanging... Richard spent the whole weekend with me. We started hanging out on Easter.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, Easter, I knew.
Seriously, Richard's become one of my closest friends.
Yeah, I know.
Really has.
So you two, talk to each other on the phone? And
yeah.
Easter, wow. I knew Easter like this. I caught Easter. Because... when he invited him over for Thanksgiving, and I invited Rich over for Easter, all of a sudden Rich was like, well, and I knew Howard.
So as soon as he hesitated, you knew.
Are you glad we kept it from you, though? Because...
It hurts.
Yeah.
It hurts a lot. But
see, Richard is a good friend of yours.
I love Richard, but I love Howard, too. I feel like we should be the three amigos.
But how do you feel about him keeping such a secret from you? I mean...
he only did it out of the kindness of it.
Yeah, Richard told me you couldn't handle it.
I couldn't, because on Thanksgiving, the next day, I was driving to my parents' house. Richard goes, you're going to be so jealous. I don't want to tell you this. He goes, I had dinner last night with Howard, and oh, my God, I swear to God, I want to just turn into this oil tanker on the highway with my kids.
Well, it gets much worse than that, because since then, we've been hanging out almost exclusively. I'd say he's one of my closest friends.
See what a nice guy Howard is?
Yeah. And Richard
we
and
have fun, though. I mean, we just have a good time. It's low-key, and we
Fuck, I knew that.
This guy's driving my car all week, and I didn't even know it. You should have seen him. Richard Christie.
What happened?
That's fucking bullshit.
No, I told him to take my car and drive it. He did. Why is that bullshit?
It's not cool.
What do you mean it's not cool? He's a good guy.
How do you like the Hamptons, Richard?
It's beautiful.
Why are you saying it's wrong?
You know what? Do what you want.
No, I don't understand what you're saying.
He is doing what he wants.
It's not that it's wrong. It hurts.
Why does that hurt you if I hang out with Richard? I don't get it.
I don't know. I can't put my finger on it. It's like this. I feel like the stepchild.
Fred has been here longer than...
Yeah, but Fred prefers not to hang out with Howard.
That's not true.
That's not true.
Howard has actually not invited me to several events. It's hurt me a little bit, but you know something? You deal with it.
I'm trying to. I'm not trying to flip out. I'm just...
You deal with it. You can't be a baby about it.
Right. It
What's
hurts.
weird, it's harder for me because I'm a single guy, too. Like, they're both single guys. I live near the city. I thought maybe I could go. I've never been to the Hamptons.
Right.
I mean, you're a married guy. Maybe that's a...
Yeah, I know. That's the thing. I mean,
you got a lot of baggage.
It's either my wife or Howard, and I got kids, so...
Yeah.
Here's Ralph. Ralph, go ahead.
Yeah, now that the cat's out of the bag, I don't get it either.
You don't get him hanging out with Richard?
No, I mean, and plus the capper for me was... he's disgusting. I mean, he doesn't shower, he doesn't brush his teeth, he puts his hands down his pants.
I shower on the weekends when we hang out.
He showered the whole weekend.
You go to the gym and don't do that, but, and Howard's a clean freak. I mean,
you guys go to the gym together?
Yeah. That's the way he started losing weight. We work out together.
That I knew. I didn't know. I didn't know about the Hamptons.
The gym. You know about the fucking gym?
I knew about the gym, but I didn't care. Like, to me, I don't care about a gym. I knew they worked out.
You didn't want to hang out and work out.
Forget it. Just forget it.
You can't let it bother you, Sal. It's,
I'm not letting it bother
you. Didn't know we went to the gym together? I thought you told him.
No, I kind of figured he'd be weird about that, too.
But so how can he
And I asked him about the gym.
What did you ask him about the gym?
I told him, he goes, well, I go to Bally's, and it's closer to me and everything else. And because Richard doesn't blow me up or anything.
He hasn't been going. He's been going to my gym. He doesn't go to Bally's anymore.
Sal, has Richard
and I asked him, when the membership ended, I go, can you do me a favor? Can you call John up? He's the one who helps us out. He goes, well, I'm not sure to call. And now it makes sense. You're not calling John because you're not even at Bally's.
Well, he's with me.
He's at a nice gym.
Yeah.
So who's the scumbag now? Who's doing this behind my back? You, Richard.
What am I doing behind your back?
Well, he's getting all these get-together. I mean,
but see how you're upset when you find out? That's why I did this behind your back.
Yeah, but make me aware of it. That's all I'm saying.
You could take it better if you could see the progression. Is that what you think?
I don't know. I don't know anything anymore. I'm ready to blow my fucking brains out. I don't know.
Sal,
I mean,
Sal, you're trying to spare your feelings.
Sal, you got a family.
Together, Sal.
I know I have a family. That's it.
You think if it wasn't for your family, you'd be with Howard instead of Richard?
Maybe.
Wow.
There's a slight possibility, but what are you going to do? Look.
We just hang out. He's a good dude. I have a lot in common with him.
He's a great dude. I mean...
We laugh our ass off. Dude, we've been writing comedy together.
Mm-hmm. You probably pull my leg on that one.
Well, no, we have.
I don't know about the comedy.
We've been working on bits and stuff like that.
The thing is...
Howard, what was that thing that you sent me? That email? It was kind of like a synopsis of something?
Yeah, that was Richard and I did that together.
I knew it. I fucking knew it, man, with the Easter and everything else, and him going, I went to scores and with a friend. Oh, I'm not going to bring that up.
I heard a crazy rumor.
I knew it.
I heard a rumor that's even nuttier than that, like kind of through Gary and through an agent that I know. And I don't want to bring this up.
About the TV show?
That you and Richard have a meeting at a network?
Yeah.
My agent told me this.
Wait. I can't really talk about this, but Richard and I were in the gym. There's a guy I know who produces television. Richard had an idea, and
true.
And I couldn't try.
That was with Richard. That story you told me.
I didn't want to say who it was because it's his story to tell. But Richard and I are going to be doing it.
This goes deeper than I ever even thought.
Well, you know what it is when you hang out with a guy, you start communicating.
Why don't you just kill me?
What?
Kill me right now.
Why?
Kill me.
My manager calls me up and goes, how are you involved?
It's not a major network. It's a cable network, but Richard and I's show has got picked up for 13.
Richard deserves it, but why do you have to do this to me?
What am I supposed to do?
Anything to you, Sal? What is he doing?
Why does this all have to be behind my back?
Dude, now you're trying to cushion the blow because my manager said it's like ABC or something.
Well, the reason that we couldn't talk about until now. I mean, that we had to.
You know what? Just stop.
That's unbelievable.
Why?
You know what? Why is it private? I don't want to hear. You know, you're right. I'm sorry I brought it up. I'm sorry I brought it up.
You said you wanted to know. Now you know.
Yeah, and I'm sorry I did. It hurts a little bit. That's all I'm saying.
Why does it hurt you?
Because I hang out with Richard, and Richard hangs out with you. I should hang out with you and Richard. I mean, it would be nice if
you're busy with your family. Stop it. It just happens.
I'm getting divorced.
Also, Sal, you know that certain people have chemistry together?
Yeah, that's the part I don't want to talk about.
I like Richard. I've always liked Richard.
I don't want to admit that part. I want to believe it's because of my wife and not because of creative chemistry or whatever.
Sal, Richard's just a good dude.
He's a great dude.
You know how great he is. And when you're hanging out, you know what it is? We hang out so much together now. All of a sudden, the idea came up for the TV show. I said, I know a guy. I don't know if he'll be interested. We pitched it to 2 places. 2 places bid on it.
Wow, so you had the idea and you thought Richard would be a good team?
Richard had the idea.
Richard had the idea.
And then I said to him, what if we changed it and we did this and that? And he goes, well, okay. And I said, well, I'll go pitch it with you. And we pitched it.
So now you two are like co-producers?
Yeah. No, we're they call that executive producers.
Co-creators.
Yeah.
My manager said it's close to being green-lit. That's why he told me about it.
It is green-lit.
It's green-lit.
It's green-lit. 13, guaranteed.
So what does that mean in terms of Richard's work around here?
Well, Richard and I were talking about it, and we're going to try and split up our time together.
What do you mean?
In other words, when he's working here, he'll do his thing, and I'll go work on the show.
Wow.
And then Richard will join me later in the day.
Really?
Yeah.
So,
Jason, take that camera, shove it up your ass.
Why should Jason? Why should Jason?
Is he making a whole? It just brings him a lot of pleasure to see me upset. That's why he's in here.
Why are you upset?
I gotta admit, I'm a little upset. I've been trying to figure out a way to pitch something to you with a network.
Did you hear that Richard's going to be going over to Howard's office every day now?
Very good. Talk about it at your party, will you, please?
I was going to say, I'm starting to get a little bit upset.
Richard's coming to the party with me in the car.
Me, Robin, and Artie will hang out this weekend.
Richard, and by the way,
Fred,
please.
Can we hang out with you?
Richard, bring a change of clothing to Robin's party, because if you're coming with us and with me and Beth in the car, we're going to Atlantic City that night if you want to stay. I'm getting some rooms, and we're going to stay with some friends.
Well, I have a comedy show that night, so...
Can you cancel it, maybe?
I could.
We're going to have a blast.
I mean, am I taking your car down to Robin's? Is it okay? Could I meet you in Atlantic City, like, after our show?
Absolutely.
I wish I never brought this up.
Why do you wish you never brought it up?
Because now you're openly talking about things you're doing together, and it hurts even more.
I'm not a girl. I'm just a dude.
All right, be a dude, but why do you have to hurt me?
Because Richard's going to Atlantic City. What's the big deal?
Do we all have to work out with you in order to pitch ideas? That's what we want.
It just happened. That's how it came
I never understood it in the past with Stutter and John when you say, oh, me and John worked out. Like, Stutter and John, I mean, he's a different story. Richard's a great guy. I can get that. But, like, how come you can never find any room for me?
What?
Nothing.
What are you talking about? I talk to you every day.
You don't talk to me. You don't say hello to me in the morning.
Oh,
half the time you grunt at me.
No.
Like, Sal, you're too
telling you.
But Sal, Richard had an idea. This is almost a business thing.
You know what? The idea probably came out of hanging out.
That's what I'm saying. Idea in Atlantic.
Hey, you want to know something? Richard's a genius.
Hey, well, that's fine. But where's the ideas in Atlantic City and going in the fucking car and going to the Hamptons?
But, you know, when you're sitting around talking like that, things just sort of, he might not have even known it was a good idea.
Yeah, but I always...
just came out.
But what about the ideas I develop? I'm developing... How about if I was with you more? How about my ideas I develop?
I don't know what to tell you, man. It just happened. We were at the gym.
Yeah, but I'm saying...
Guys, listen, Sal, I'm bench pressing. Richard he's my spotter. I trust him more than anybody.
You?
Yeah, but I trust him.
All right.
He's not going to drop the fucking weight on my head.
When's the last time you were at a gym anyway, Sal?
It's been about a few years.
Sal, you're reduced to, I understand how you feel. Now, you got to try to put your ideas on paper and see if he'll read them.
I don't. He deletes everything I send this guy.
See, that's why the cable network thing is kind of patronizing, because I heard through a reliable source...
All right, it's a network, okay? I didn't want to say it.
The ABC upfronts, I heard, the big surprise is going to be, like... Howard and another guy.
Right. You didn't know who the other guy
I thought it was like Zimmerman or somebody.
No, it's Richard. It's not Zimmerman.
Really?
Sal, you could pass your ideas through Richard.
Yeah, maybe that's the way to get Howard.
Sal, if you want to
pass a bullet through his skull.
Why?
To Ralph.
Don't be hating.
Why does he have to break my balls like that? Look, Richard's great. You're great, Howard. I'm glad you guys get along and have fun. I'm just a little hurt you kept it behind my back.
Well, we thought you'd be hurt.
I knew it, but I knew it. But
Richard speaks very well of you.
I know.
And as drunk as Richard gets, he still didn't let it out.
No.
You know, because I'm even thinking about the other night at the party. He was as drunk as anything.
I knew it. I knew, and I appreciate
Richard, when we're hanging out in the apartment, I've never heard you say a negative thing about Sal.
I know. I love Sal.
Matter of fact, Sal probably never comes up.
Well, that's why I didn't want to say anything to Sal, because I love him and I don't want to hurt his feelings.
That's why, now I know why J.J. Abrams said to you, congratulations. He congratulated Richard on the way out.
No.
So it's that well known.
Yeah, well, it's known at ABC.
My agent knows it, and JJ's all over ABC.
Well, that's why I want you to come to Atlantic City, man.
Howard, have fun in Atlantic City.
Howard, was it more, that idea, was it more, the synopsis I read, was it more your idea or Richard's, or was it like 50?
I would say it was mostly Richard's, and then...
I think it was probably more yours.
No.
You're just doing that to break my balls.
No, I added to it. I mean, I'll be honest.
Let me ask you something. So have you been
why am I
working
not
on
involved in this?
Why are you not involved?
Why?
It's Richard's idea, my idea. We don't need a third partner on this.
You can have too many people writing stuff like that.
Seriously? The deal we have is 50-50. Who needs to split you in?
You got to give away points.
No. But by the same token, is it like you're writing out in the Hamptons?
What? I wouldn't even take money for it. I wouldn't take the points.
But we had the concept laid out, exactly like we wanted.
But Richard and I collaborate all the time, and I
collaborate with Richard now.
You know what?
But that doesn't make sense.
Maybe
I've always collaborated
give your ideas to Richard. You know, let him see him. Maybe
if I gave my film to him, he would have had a winner.
There you go.
Don't freak
That's something I did by myself. But no, you guys got to collaborate without me now. I mean, I don't mind. I work for you, Howard.
I'm sorry.
Well, that's why I didn't tell you, too, because you were a little bit upset that I collaborated with Benji on my movie.
No, I wasn't upset about it. I thought that was a good idea.
But you were upset that me and you didn't work.
I said, how come me and you didn't do something together? And he said, well, it just happened to be that way. That's fine.
Dude.
So I went off and did my own
film. Are you guys writing in the Hamptons? Is that what you're hanging out?
We do have writing
They
sessions.
ain't writing shit. They're writing dinner orders. What are you kidding me? Yeah.
No. We work on the film. I mean, the TV show.
You got to write it.
What do you mean, police? What are you talking about?
Dude, you're hanging out with him in the Hamptons. You ain't writing horse shit. What are you writing in the Hamptons?
We write. We do write.
All right, good. Right. Enjoy the writing.
That's how.
We got to have a certain number of scripts ready. So.
Wow, so there's an order of scripts.
You mean you guys got past pilot and everything?
Yeah. We got a 13 green light. In other words, that's 13 guaranteed. Because of Richard.
Holy shit.
Well, because of you, I mean.
Well, both of us.
I mean, if your name wasn't on it.
Richard's fucking great, man, and I'm just going to
honestly, Richard.
It was his idea if it wasn't for you.
With just that 13, dude, welcome to being wealthy. You're going to be, just based on that, it doesn't even have to fucking get picked up.
All that stuff, all that writing. I just don't get it. It's too much trouble for you to ask me to be involved in that?
Sal, it's a 50-50 split. Richard and I got it all figured out.
God
what do we need?
You.
We don't need anyone.
All right, good.
I mean, maybe in the future, but this 13, we kind of have everything lined out. We have an outline. We have our game plan.
Let me ask you something, Howard, because all of your career, you have sort of collaborated with Fred. And I know that you two just have this thing, and it's almost like, the sentences, one begins, the other one ends.
As good as Fred is, and I'm not taking anything away from Fred, this just happened.
I fucking knew it. You slipped today when you said, my friend said, we have to stop hanging out with Richard. You want to know something else, as long as the truth's coming out? Want to know the truth? Beth's cousin's going out with Richard. What?
She introduced Richard to Beth's cousin.
See, that I can't.
You don't believe it?
You don't believe it with Beth's cousin?
Something was going on there, because I know Richard has not, he stopped talking about women.
Right.
Lynn Ostrowski.
Something's got to go. Something's got to be going on, because he's not
dating Lynn Ostrowski.
You know what?
And that's another reason why we hang together. Her family and his girlfriend, they're the same families.
Sal,
what are you saying, Sal?
That's why he won't date anybody. When we go out to these comedy shows, he doesn't go near any girls.
Right. You thought he was a fag.
He's with Lynn.
I figured something.
I didn't want to say anything. I didn't want to freak you out.
You know what, Sal? That I kind of knew. The TV 13 episodes ordered. That's what's
Richard and I.
You
got to hear this. So Beth's family comes to town, and I wasn't going to hang out with Richard that night. But Lynn, who is her cousin, the family was in town. So it was me, Richard, and the families all together. We had a fucking great time. We were drunk. We were laughing our ass off. And that's when we announced the news about the TV show.
We go out to comedy shows, and there's like these hot girls. And I go, Richard, you got to get... And he's like, no, I'm afraid of disease. And I'm like, how can this guy be afraid? He doesn't even brush his teeth. He doesn't wash his balls. He's got crap wafting out of his ass. And all of a sudden, a beautiful, clean, sparkly piece of ass, and he won't even kiss her.
Right.
And that's why...
Yeah, I don't.
It all makes sense now.
Dude, I'm going to tell you the weirdest thing Richard and I were talking about. Richard was talking about he's really in love with Lynn. And he goes, like, if you married Beth and I married Lynn, we'd be family.
Lord, now you're going to be brothers.
Would it be nuts if we had, like, a double wedding? And I got to admit, that's kind of fucking funny.
It's a riot.
I don't get it. You got to talk to her. I mean, because she is like Beth Hot, Lynn is.
She is hot. She loves Richard.
She's Beth hot?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
How long has that been going on?
She's modeled.
Cousins are usually hotter, so.
Yeah.
How long has it been going on, though?
I'm going to say about, how long have you been seeing her? A month?
Yeah, a little over a month.
Wow.
I knew it. Gary...
I think that's all. Must be an act.
You want to know why it's nice to me?
Face, man.
When Beth's family comes to town, now, like, if Richard's there with Lynn, it's so easy, and they love Richard.
I knew it. Thanksgiving was a giveaway.
Takes the pressure off you.
Well, awesome Beth's mother loves Richard more than me.
Well, her mother loves
Sal, the whole truth is out now, so I don't care.
All right, enjoy yourselves. I mean, what can I do? I'm going to just keep doing what I do.
God, when will we meet Lynn?
Hey, Sal,
I can't wait.
Where's the part where you say, hey, congratulations to your good friend? Does that ever happen?
I say, who, to Richard?
Yeah.
Where's the part where Richard said, I'm sorry for keeping this all behind your back?
Well, the dude's got an ABC deal, and his life's going great. You don't get to say thank you. I mean, so congratulations.
What? Congratulations. All right, good.
You're not happy for him even a little?
Yeah, I'm happy.
Congratulations to Howard. They got a huge network order. I mean, they're both your friends.
Well, you got to say, even you're a little jealous of all this access Richard now has.
I want to thank Richard. I want to thank Richard publicly because Richard really is a genius. And when he came up with the idea and everything, and he's making Lynn happy. And
well, you sure are keeping that genius thing a secret.
Well, I tell you what, he was brilliant in the pitch meeting.
Thank you, baby. Thank you. We'll share that champagne later.
I'll be honest.
I'll use it on you.
When Richard and I were in there with this guy, I did most of the pitch, and then Richard finished it up at the end, and he did a great job.
Richard?
Very good.
He's a
in that hayseed accent, or is that put on?
The network executive loved him. This guy was from the Midwest, and he was like, Richard, you're my man.
Did you showcase Benji's film first to hook this guy?
For the meeting, Richard?
What?
Did you take a shower for the meeting?
Yeah, I mean, you know what? I shower more than you probably think.
Sal, why is this so shocking to you? I don't understand.
It's not shocking. It's just like, I want to be a part of the family. That's all. And I always thought in the back of my head, and it's okay, and I know Richard kept it from me because he's a good-hearted guy. Because he would say, it's going to break your heart, and I know it, and I appreciate that. But to hear all of the shit, that is...
Yeah, it's freaking me out.
You should have seen Gary's face when you said that about...
What did he say? He doesn't care.
No, hold on, wait, today. This is why this... I know why this is out. Gary fucked this all up.
How?
Because when you said, my friend said, we can't hang out with Rich anymore, the guys at First Teeth, I went right up to Gary's face. I go, Gary, they've been hanging out. And Gary looked right... You know when somebody throws you something?
Right.
He said...
So, Sal, you want to hear this?
Wait, hold on, wait. Gary said what everybody says when they're caught in a situation where they can't answer. He goes, what? And
okay,
I go,
so
that was
can't hear
he
anymore.
changed. His eyes went still.
So, Sal, listen to this. When you were back there in the hall before, I remember like you were somewhere where you couldn't hear the radio.
Right.
Gary comes in and says to me, Sal's so fucked up in the head because of what you just said.
Yeah, I did.
I got thinks that you're hanging around with Richard. Right. So I said, let's drive him crazy. We brought you in here.
You're full of shit.
You lied about everything. You're such a fucking moron. What?
How was Ralph on it?
The audience knows.
I told the audience, let's fuck with Sal.
Oh, you're a fucking idiot. Fucking gone. You mean you're not hanging out with him?
No.
He almost cried. He fucking almost cried.
You motherfuckers.
He's got tears in his eyes.
I hate you guys.
All right, get out of here.
No Easter? You didn't
Never.
How did your friend
Because you're
say
a paranoid asshole.
He is dating Lynn.
My friend heard Richard. First of all, you got it completely wrong. My friend heard Richard on the radio and said to me, I don't know how. He said he was not going to hang out with Richard, not me.
Kind of like
who said that?
It was you. It was Ralph.
So funny. That's good. Because when
there's no script, there's no meeting, no Hamptons. Richard is a fag. That's why he doesn't hit on chicks on the road.
Beth doesn't have a cousin. All right, now get out of here. You're an idiot.
I'm so happy. I feel like I just won the lottery for some reason.
Dude, you're gonna fucking cry.
Oh, that's right.
All right, go back.
You're still not hanging out with Howard.
Yeah, but that's a... Yeah,
Sal, you leave, Richard stay.
Oh, fuck, dude.
All right, Ralph, later.
Oh, that was unbelievable.
That was great. I can't believe he bought that whole thing.
Well, what'd you say, Ralph?
I said I almost burst out laughing 5 times. Like,
oh, I got to put my head down.
The story kept getting more and more outrageous.
I know, and he still was buying every bit of it. I loved how he had confirmation in his own head.
No.
I know it.
And meanwhile, I'm sitting here laughing because it's so funny, and it doesn't even slow him down for a minute.
I knew it. You were with him on Easter, weren't you?
Yeah.
I wanted to see how absurd we could...